Okay, Sean Strickland needs an immediate title shot right after Adesanya versus Duplessis. Okay? The fact that they're even trying to set up Sean Strickland versus Robert Whittaker is criminal. Sean Strickland has beaten both Israel Adesanya and he arguably beat Dricus. Okay? Robert Whittaker lost to Adesanya twice, even though that second fight was a pretty big toss-up. And then he lost to Dricus, so I don't really see why they're even hinting at the fact that Robert Whittaker is going to, and I don't even know if this is the UFC that did it directly, but there's a word through the grapevine that they're trying to give Robert Whittaker the title shot after Adesanya and Dricus ends. I don't see why that's the thing. I don't even know why Adesanya is getting an immediate title shot after, he said he was going to take 7 years off or something like that. I guess he mentally recovered from whatever it was Sean Strickland did to him, because you could tell Sean mentally broke him with the trash talk and the pointing out about the whole dog situation. But, I think that especially after you watch Paulo Costa versus Sean Strickland, the fact that one judge actually threw that Costa's way, you got to be kidding me, man. The UFC is making this a little bit of an uphill battle for Sean Strickland. Now, I'm going to be fair. It's not the most uphill battle we've seen anyone give a fighter. Remember Tony Ferguson? Tony Ferguson is still fighting, and he hasn't given up, and he's still going. And when he was in his prime before the Justin Gaethje fight, that guy should have gotten a title shot long before he waited for Khabib. In fact, honestly, it would be justifiable to throw Tony Ferguson at Eddie Alvarez before you threw Conor McGregor at Eddie Alvarez. But I guess, Conor was the star at the point. So I guess we've seen a little bit worse treatment of fighters than Sean Strickland. But obviously, if you think that Sean Strickland's not catching some questionable resistance right now, and the fact that they're just trying to get him to fight Robert Whittaker, I mean, maybe defend your title against Robert Whittaker if you win it back, which I think if he runs it back against Dricus Duplessis, he gets it done probably easier than we would think, because he's had time to fill out Dricus. He knows what to look out for. And if you look at the fight with Paulo Costa, Sean Strickland was throwing head kicks and just a little bit more than he normally does. So you could tell he's working on actually squaring up his game. Where I think, if anything, the one thing that really cost him the fight with Dricus was just basically doing a jab 1-2 and not really adding too much. He can do a couple things really well, but he needs to learn how to do 10 or 20 things really well, and I think he would be an unstoppable force, basically up for greatest of all time status at middleweight, maybe. Because I see he's reaching more and more potential with every fight that goes on, and I think that you give him a title shot now, I honestly think whoever you put in front of Sean Strickland, he might actually get it done. That's just my humble opinion. He's shown me so much improvement that it's undeniable right now that, don't make him fight Robert Whittaker. Because even if he did, what's going to happen? Is he going to fight Robert Whittaker and then Robert Whittaker loses to Sean Strickland, which honestly I think Robert Whittaker would lose to Sean Strickland. And then what's going to happen with Sean is then they're going to say, oh, run it back with Jared Cannonier. I feel like they're going to continuously move the goalpost. So Sean Strickland's going to have to play hardball on this one, and he's doing the right thing by saying, no, you know what? I'm not fighting Robert Whittaker. I get next title shot. End of story. You got to play hardball with these guys, and you can't keep being a yes company man. He's been a company man so many times before he even got the title shot. So, now being a company man is going to get you what? I mean, yeah. But yeah, you feel my drift. There's so many factors going in that if you actually are going to say that Sean Strickland doesn't deserve a title shot, you probably have some personal beef with him or his mannerisms, which guess what? You know what? Maybe Sean Strickland's not the guy I'd like to have a beer with, because he seems like the guy that would take the bar culture a little too far, despite him actually saying he doesn't really go out to clubs. But you get what I'm saying. He's raunchy. He's rowdy. Sometimes I don't think he knows when to call the joke off, But you know what? Knowing his background, you understand how he turned out that way. So, no, would be a guy that I would always, want to hang around or something like that. Probably not. But you know what? I don't think Sean Strickland would hang out with me either, so I guess that works out that way. But I still love him as a fighter, So, but it's like you got to just look at him as a fighter, though. And undeniably, Sean Strickland needs to be up next. If you try to throw Robert Whittaker, or even if you give Robert Whittaker a title shot. Let's say Adesanya beats Dricus du Plessis, and then, let's make Adesanya versus Whittaker 3. Do you have any idea how ridiculous that would be? Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Maybe I'm being a little paranoid, but I think it's justifiable paranoia in this sense. But that's my little ramble. I wanted to make a video on this. Peace out.